Thanks for joining us today on the morning show from WRCO. In the first part of the show, we're going to put the focus on the American Red Cross. Kyle Kriegl is here, Executive Director for the Southwest Wisconsin chapter of the Red Cross, and local blood drive coordinator Bob Sheire is here as well. Bob, it's about that time. We're going to be making plans for this month's drive, aren't you?
Yes, I am, and also for our people for their kitchen lunch is going to be honey ham sandwiches.
All right. Get that done. I know you've got lofty goals for each and every drive. How many of you got signed up so far for the drive?
I think we got about 74 for this trip, and we're looking for more.
What's the date of the drive again, Bob?
July 15th. Matter of fact, it's on my wife's birthday.
All right.
And she'll be a whole 51.
She'll be celebrating at the drive.
She can't give this month.
Oh, yeah?
Because she says she met her quota.
So that's 1 week from today.
Yes.
That'll be happening there. The hours, again, Bob?
The hours are from 11:30 to 5:30. And we're looking also for volunteers. We're looking for people that are interested in coming out and help give their donation of blood, and there's always something to do at a blood drive.
There's an added bonus this time as well. If people give blood, what can they receive?
When you give blood, you will receive a coupon from Quick Trip for a pint of milk.
That's a good deal. Quick Trip has been very responsive and very quick to step up, I think, for the cause, haven't they?
Yes.
Yeah, very much.
Well, I think that last year's deal, it kind of wore another sponsor down a little bit. They kind of got a little upset because the kind of Quick Trip was doing the same thing they were doing.
Oh, I see.
But we all got to work together because we're one big team.
Right. It all's for the same cause, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah. Kyle Kriegl is here as well. Good to see you, Kyle.
Good morning. Good to be here.
Yeah.
And just to piggyback off of what Bob was saying too, if you'd like to register for the drive next week, you can go to redcross.org to make your appointment. Certainly you can call 1-800-RED-CROSS to make your appointment. Or if you have the blood donor app on your phone, a lot of people have that now. That's a great way to make an appointment. And I just want to emphasize too that, the summertime, we see a lot of drop off in blood donations. People are, vacationing, school's out, they're camping. And so we see a lot of folks, not coming out and donating blood. But yet this is a critical time of the year because people are out traveling. There's increase in number of accidents and disasters that happen. And so this is really critical for us to ask the community to come out and help donate blood. I know Bob and I are both kind of, we always want to shoot for the moon, and so I know he's at 74, but we'd love to have it well over 100 people come out next week and donate blood. There's no reason why not. Plus, Phil, think of it this way. It's a cool place. It's going to be air conditioning. We're going to have snacks. Bob's always got the canteen well stocked. We'll keep you well hydrated. So there's really no excuse. If you're able to, please come out and donate blood. It's just a great time to help. But I do also want to mention there are other blood drives all around the area. And so again, you can go on redcross.org or redcrossblood.org and put in your zip code and you can find the closest blood drive to you. As I said, if you got the blood app on your phone, great way to make an appointment that way too.
And the easiest way to find where the blood drive is, please come to the community center at 1050 North Orange and make sure the person has their iron count good and everything, because that always helps.
Let's talk about that a little bit as far as the iron count. And, you hear the term about platelets and, giving blood and things like that. Maybe you could explain that a little bit, Kyle.
Sure. Well, one thing I always want to tell folks is that, I hear from people like, I'm nervous about donating. I always say to folks, the trick to it is make sure you're well hydrated. before you go in for a blood drive. Have a good meal. If you are concerned about your iron count, there are some foods that you can eat that will help you with your iron count. A lot of folks talk about spinach and stuff like that. So those are some things that you can do to make sure that you're ready for that. Also, folks are nervous about needles and stuff. I always got to say, bring a friend with you, bring a family member, do it together with somebody. It's really, painless, but it's just a really great way to do it, with a friend. The other thing I would just say too is that, it's only an hour. I mean, we get you in and out of there, really quickly. Bob and his crew, they've got they process so you get you right in right away. If you make an appointment, there's usually no waiting really. It's relatively quick. So 1 hour of your time. Bob had mentioned earlier too that, you hit your quota, and I just tell folks, all blood types are welcome, and it's every 56 days that you can donate. So there may be sometimes folks are like, hey, I got to watch my time when I can do it. But that's why I wanted to mention there's lots and lots of blood drives that are available out there.
Okay.
Last thing I just want to add regarding blood is that if you find a blood drive this week and you donate, we're running a special. It's June 29th through July 12th. If you come and donate, you can get a Looney Tunes T-shirt. It's really cool.
Nice.
Bugs Bunny and the gang. So I know that runs out this week, and then Bob was talking about the stuff that we have going for next week. I would also mention too, there will be July 13th to the 31st. You will receive a Fandango movie ticket by email. It's a $15 price to go see a movie. So again, really no excuse. Get some nice gifts if you can come out and donate blood. And as I said, it's for a good cause. Right now, people really we need folks to come out and donate blood. Again, all blood types are welcome. We really need you to come out if you can.
Sometimes in the summer, people kind of forget it or get busy or whatever.
Yeah, or vacation. Hey, we all want to take that vacation. So if you can, just make sure if you can schedule it. We also have donor centers with La Crosse and Madison. So if you're in shopping or in one of those larger communities, you can also stop in for donate blood there as well. And again, I just want to mention all blood types are welcome. Certainly, O-neg is one of our most popular ones that we're always looking for, but all types are welcome at this point.
Is that the rarest?
It's the one that's most highly sought after for our hospitals to support them. Yeah.
Let's talk about some other things. The Red Cross has been busy. We've had some severe weather here in Wisconsin, quite a bit of it lately, haven't we?
Well, it feels like the heat's been on.
I know.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of disasters, and this year, just thinking back to April, and again, we were just talking before we started today. Time seems to be flying by this summer. But just back in April, we had those statewide storms from, I know for your listeners, close to here, like Union Center got hit by that tornado. I know Red Cross was there helping those folks impacted. The folks up in Ringgold, up by the Wausau area, we had major flooding in Portage and down by Janesville. So and that was just our kind of our part of the state, but I know also by Green Bay, major flooding like Shiocton and I gotta say, sorry, Black Creek and Fremont were hit. So we're not strangers to this stuff as well. We've seen quite a bit that's hit our state, and the Red Cross has been extremely busy with responding. And so what happens when that stuff happens? So with the Red Cross, we work with our partners. We set up Red Cross shelters. We also have partner shelters that will help open up so that people have a safe place to stay if they're not able to get into their homes. We also provided some cleanup kits. We've done just a lot of work with folks that have been impacted by these disasters. And every day you see south. Just this morning, I think everything I saw. I think it was 115 degrees in a couple of communities. I'm like, wow, how do you even venture outside when it gets that hot? I just want to say, when it gets that hot, there's some things that you can do. That we encourage folks, if you go to redcross.org, we've got some great safety tips for people, especially for heat, what to do, what are some things that you can do in your home. The biggest is make sure you're well hydrated, stay in a place that's cool. But there's some tips and things that you can implement in your home to just make sure you can deal with the heat. The other thing that comes along with that are certainly our power outages, and we've certainly seen that. That's impacted some areas throughout the country, and so we've got, again, some safety tips to deal with that. So that's just the United States, and then the U.S. also has some territories, and I know that not even 6 months ago, we were sending people from Wisconsin to Guam. I had to go look and see where that was on a map in the Pacific. But Guam is a U.S. territory, and they got hit by a typhoon. And just this last weekend, they got hit again. And so the American Red Cross and our partners were working to respond to help support those folks that were impacted again as they were beginning that recovery process. Island operations are a little bit different because it's not like here where you can just, go to it's really easy to go to a non-impacted community. There, you're on an island, and it gets pretty devastated with resources. So we do have our volunteers. Some of them are being deployed for that. But also, I know that we've sent several here from Wisconsin to help support Illinois, Indiana, with some of the tornadoes that have impacted those communities as well. And so with all this, Bill, with these disasters, I would just say we're always looking for volunteers. And the biggest response that we see on a regular basis is the single-family house fire. And so we need volunteers to help us respond to those. But also there are the larger disasters that you see every day where we need volunteers that can go out and help with shelter, help with feeding, and lots of different things. We even have opportunities for disaster volunteers that can do virtual assignments. So there's lots of opportunities. And again, if you're interested ever in learning more about that, you can go to redcross.org, and on the tab there's a volunteer icon that you can click, and it can give you a lot of different information about volunteering opportunities locally and nationally. And so I encourage your listeners out there that if they're looking to do something or give back to their community, what a great way is to become a disaster volunteer. I do want to also echo Bob. The blood opportunities are there as well. So the blood donor ambassadors, as Bob said, we're always looking for folks to be at that front door, meeting and greeting people, helping out with Bob and the team in the canteen. So there are opportunities like that as well.
You also make a push each and every time you hear about smoke alarms, and you talked about house fires, and just keeping people safe, right?
Yeah. So the Red Cross, we respond nationally to about 65,000 disasters a year, and over 80% of those are single-family house fires. So what we did starting in 2014. We began a program where we go into homes. What people do is they will go online and make an appointment, and we'll have a team of Red Cross volunteers or our partners, many times fire departments, local fire departments, and we'll install smoke alarms in their home. We'll replace them. Having a working smoke alarm can greatly impact your opportunity to get out of your home and be safe if there is a fire in your home. You only have about 2 minutes to get out. And, many times, that fire at 2 a.m., you're sleeping, and all of a sudden you're hoping that, you have a working smoke alarm that's working so that you can get out, get your, certainly yourself, but your family and any pets. Make sure you're getting out safe. So we provide free smoke alarms. We go in, we install them, we show the homeowner how they work. So that when you have you're cooking you got toast in the toaster and you accidentally burn it and the smoke alarm goes off, we'll show you how to deal with that. Don't take the battery out. So we walk through what to do with that. Also, we will help the homeowner identify hazards in the home. Kitchen areas is probably your number one area, but just kind of go through that with them, and then have a plan on how to get out. Make sure you know 2 exits of every room, have a meeting place outside the home to meet, and then to practice that. Many people don't realize that even if you change the battery in your smoke alarm once a year, the alarm itself, per the manufacturer, is only good for 10 years. So if you're noticing your smoke alarm's kind of yellow and crusty, it's probably time that you change it. So I just tell folks, make sure you check your smoke alarm, make sure that it's working properly, check the date when it was installed to make sure that, hey, we want to make sure it works. So the other one I would just also put in a plug for, if you're checking your smoke alarm, also check your carbon monoxide. That's something that we don't put in, but that's something you should also be checking as well. We'll Well, where do you go to find out about this? You can call the Red Cross. I'll do it slow. It's an 800 number. So 1-888-376-4056. Or you can go to redcross.org/sound the alarm. So both of those are opportunities where you can go and register to make an appointment, and a Red Cross volunteer will call you, set up a time that works for you, whether it's a weekend or an evening, and install those alarms. Typically, Phil, we install probably about 3 smoke alarms per home, and typically we want to do them in like the hallways, where for bedrooms and stuff like that. The other thing that we do is that for those that are hearing impaired, we do offer bed shakers or strobe lights as well.
Okay.
So if there's a issue with hearing, we do have those as well, and those are free.
Awesome. Tell me a little bit more about the app. We always hear about it. You can register for the blood drive, like the one that's coming up in Richland Center next week. But there's an app for emergencies as well.
Yeah, this is a really good app, especially again this time of the year. So the emergency app, it kind of walks you through a couple of things. Be ready before, during, and after a disaster. So it will actually walk you through some short guides, even some games or personalized checklists that you can have to be prepared. Some of the things we talked about, having that plan, what to do when you have a fire in your home, what you can do for that. Or if it's a tornado, you get a tornado warning for your immediate area, what to do. So some really good checklists. I always encourage folks to go through that. But then also,
That app is also, I've got it on my phone, and when it goes off, it's like about 5 fire trucks in one.
You know it.
You're going to get notified. Yes, absolutely. So I was just going to say, when you get the alerts from the National Weather Service, they're right on your phone. So right, as Bob said, it is extremely loud, and it will notify you if you are in an area that does have a warning or a watch. So it'll walk you through what to do in those situations. But it's really nice to have that on your phone. The other thing that I will say with that, so we're right here in Richland Center today, but if you have an app with a family member that's, say, in another part of the country, you can also kind of let them know, like, hey, there's a tornado warning for where you're at. And so you can kind of see where your loved ones, if they're being impacted by severe weather. Also, one of the things that I liked on here, the last point that I want to make with the emergency app, is where you can find help, find your local Red Cross shelters and services. So, many times you may not know, well, if we're impacted by a flood here, where do I go for shelter? Where would I go to find that out? Or if you've got family members in another part of the country, you can let them know where the shelters are. The thing I like is that when you look at your app, you can see where all the open shelters are in the country. So it's just a really good resource for you to have on your phone so that you know what to do, especially if we have like power outages. Your phone can help you with giving you some great information. I do also want to mention that the phone is available in English and Spanish, so whatever version you would like, and you can go either on the App Store or Google Play. The other thing I wanted to mention too, Phil, is, hey, look, we all have, not all of us, but a lot of us have pets, either a cat or a dog or multiple cats and dogs. We also do have a pet first aid app. Again, I should mention all these are free for you to download on your phone, and you can get them for both Apple or Android phones, so they're available both. But a lot of us want to know, like, what do I do if my dog starts choking, or if there's an issue with my? So it has some really good, literally mouth to muscle. It'll walk you through on breathing and helping your pet. So just really good information there on first aid. Also information about toxicity information, preparedness tips, early warning emergency indicators with your pets, step-by-step how-to videos. As I mentioned, they walk you through literally the mouth to muzzle for like a dog, and then it can tell you where your emergency animal hospital locators are. If you travel, the other thing I liked is that a lot of people like to travel with their dogs. It will actually walk you within 50-mile radius. It'll show you where there are pet-friendly hotels. So just some really, really good information about pet emergencies and safety as well.
That's so good. I mean, I would have never thought about that concerning the Red Cross and a pet app and all of that. So, yeah.
There is another one. I mean, so there's 4 apps. There's probably we do have more, but the 4 that I like, again, emergency app, again, to help you walk you through for emergencies, pet app, blood donor app, and then there is a first aid app as well. So if you're camping or if you're going out to in rural or areas that you may be your distance from EMS, it could be quite far. Might be good for you also to have an emergency first aid app on your phone as well. Has some great tips on what to do in medical emergencies, like first aid, CPR. Walks you through all those components and what to do in those emergencies.
Always good stuff. Always appreciate you coming in, Kyle.
You bet.
And Bob, you just want to make a push for next week, don't you?
Yeah. Like I said before, we're always looking for more people, and Kyle, I do agree with you on what you said. I'd love to see it over 100. And I'd also like to make a push for all my sponsors here in town. We've got Quick Trip and Subway, Locker, and Culver's. And now we got a new sponsor, is Culligan Water Softener. And they've all been very helpful when I go in and talk with them. They're good listeners, and they also give me some advice on how I can make things better.
Mm-hmm. Always looking to make it better. You do a good job, Bob, and again, a good meal there too in the canteen next Wednesday.
Oh yes. This month is going to be honey ham, and next month we go back to barbecue. Then the month of November, we have turkey and stuffing sandwiches.
That'll be here before we know it.
Oh, God, yes.
And again, Phil, you can go to redcrossblood.org to make an appointment, or call 1-800-RED-CROSS to make an appointment. Yeah. But also, as Bob would say, walk-ins are welcome as well.
Yes.
Right. Yep, exactly. Well, thanks for coming in today, gentlemen. We appreciate it very much. Bob Sheire is here, and again, that blood drive in Richland Center next Wednesday. Kyle Kriegl, Executive Director for Southwest Wisconsin chapter of the Red Cross, in this portion of the morning show.